What if the most terrifying thing you have ever heard was someone's dream? And what if that dream wasn't just a dream, but a warning? These are the nightmares you'll wish you never heard. Because once you know them, they'll never leave your mind.
Welcome to Nightmare Truths. Tonight, we're sharing chilling nightmares that have haunted people long after they woke up. These are not just stories. They're experiences that left lasting scars on the people who lived through them. Stick around until the end, because one of these might just sound too familiar for comfort. A woman dreamed of walking through a house she didn't recognize. It was cold, silent, and completely empty, or so she thought. As she walked deeper into the house, she began to hear faint whispers, but no one was there. That's when she saw it, an open door leading to a basement she didn't know existed. She couldn't stop herself from walking down the stairs, and just as she reached the bottom, she woke up. Except the nightmare wasn't over. She moved into a new house a year later and found the same basement from her dream.
Is it possible for your mind to see something you haven't yet experienced? A man dreamt of his phone ringing at 3 a.m. In the dream, he picked it up, but no one was on the other end. Just static and a faint voice whispering his name. The calls kept happening in his dreams until one night he woke up to the real thing, his phone ringing at 3 a.m. When he answered, he heard the same static, the same voice. After that, his phone would ring at 3 a.m. for 7 nights straight, and every time he answered, the voice would get louder. On the 8th night, the calls stopped, but so did his sleep. What would you do if your nightmares started following you into real life? A young boy had a nightmare about a locked door in his childhood home. Every night he dreamed about trying to open it, but couldn't. One night, the door finally opened and he saw a dark, endless void on the other side. In his dream, he stepped into the void, but he woke up before seeing what was inside. Years later, he found himself back in his childhood home as an adult. That same door, one that had always been locked, was wide open, even though no one had been in the house for years. He never went inside. How far would you go to prove your nightmare isn't real? One woman shared a recurring nightmare about standing in a crowded room. Everyone around her had no faces, just blank, smooth skin where their features should have been. They surrounded her, whispering in a language she couldn't understand. Every time she turned to escape, the whispers grew louder. After weeks of this nightmare, she began noticing people on the subway and in the street staring at her. They weren't faceless, but their eyes seemed eerily familiar, like they had seen her before she saw them.
What if your dreams aren't just in your head?
These nightmares aren't just stories. They're warnings. They remind us that sometimes the scariest things happen when we're most vulnerable. Asleep. What do your nightmares mean? And more importantly, what would you do if one of them came true? Share your own nightmare in the comments below. Maybe someone else has had the same one. And if you're brave enough, subscribe to this channel. Because next time, we'll be talking about the nightmares that don't just follow you in your dreams, but might already be hiding in your reality. Sleep tight.